Hello everyone and welcome to Rehab Gaming. So today's episode is going to be a Grinds My Gears episode. I'm going to give you a little bit of information on this new series that I'm going to be doing. Grinds My Gears is basically going to contain just a discussion about some of the things that you will run into as a buyer on eBay or other auction sites, and some things that basically just drive me a little crazy, especially when you're investing your hard-earned money into something and you're expecting something to arrive that was as advertised in the listing and also to arrive in the same condition that you saw it in the listing. So, to start, basically, I got this box about a couple months ago or so. Contains a couple of consoles, some controllers and stuff like that inside, and every time I receive a package from a package carrier, I inspect the outside of the box just to make sure that there's no obvious signs of damage on the box that can lead me to believe that whatever is inside the box might also be damaged, whether it be impact damage, drop damage, water damage, what have you. And on this particular package, I didn't notice any issues on the outside of the box that would lead me to believe anything inside was wrong or broken or anything like that. However, when I opened the box, it was kind of a different story. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and open this box. Alright, so as we open this box, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the packaging method that this seller used on eBay to protect the items that they shipped out to me. So, starters, you're greeted with packing paper, which is normally going to be a decent insulator as long as packing paper is going to be used properly. So the benefits of packing paper is that it's cheap. Packing paper can be balled up and placed in a box in order to give whatever items inside that box a little bit of air cushion. But you got to make sure that if you're using packing paper, that you are putting some crinkles in it and stuffing it in some areas and making sure that there's a little bit of a cushion effect with that packing paper. When the packing paper is laying flat, you're not going to get any cushion whatsoever, and it's not going to protect the item. But if you ball it up a little bit, make sure it has some air gaps, then 9 times out of 10, as long as you use enough packing paper and you put it in the proper areas of the box to protect it, then it'll do just that. Now, this packing paper kinda was a little bit scrunched up just to give it some protective properties, but like for this piece, it's a little flat. It's not really gonna protect much. And as we pull all the other pieces of packing paper out of here, you see all the items just laying in there. Now, the reason why this is a problem is because, for example, RF module here can slide around in the box. The controls can slide around the box. This controller back here is behind the Nintendo 64 console, so if this package is thrown and it's thrown that way, and this console hits that controller, well, because of how old this controller is and the plastic gets brittle over time, it can break it. But those actually arrived just perfectly fine. Where the issue lied was this Gamecube console right here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out this packing paper. This is exactly the way that they packed it. Now, I did open this after receiving the package just to inspect everything to make sure that it was what I ordered. It arrived undamaged, and that everything that was supposed to be included with this lot was actually there. But when I looked at this GameCube, I noticed this. That carry handle is broken beyond belief. Now, as you saw, it had some packing paper in there. It had some packing paper that was stuffed in here. Yeah, that was going to give it a little bit of cushion, but it had nothing on this edge to protect this console. So when this console was in the box, it was right up against the wall. So if another package was tossed in the truck, or this package was tossed in the truck, and impacted something hard, it's going to cause something like that. It's going to cause the plastic to break, crack, like I said, these consoles are, you know, at least 10 years old or so. Plastic does degrade over time and become brittle, and it can be easily damaged, just like this one had. Now, there's another thing that also happened to this console because of improper packaging, and that would be that little guy. So that little hole in this fan shroud, we'll call it, was caused by an impact in the box. And if you look right here on this box, there's a slight little divot right where this vent hole is. So that tells me that another item was either thrown into the truck with this box, or this box was thrown somewhere and it impacted something hard and it damaged the case of this console. Now, here's the reason why it's really important as a seller on eBay to package your stuff properly, make sure it's not arriving damaged or broken or what have you. As a seller, especially on eBay, you are responsible for the item up until the time that you ship it, and you can be responsible for the item all the way until time of delivery. Now, if something's damaged in transit, as a buyer, you have a couple of remedies. One, you can either contact the company that shipped the item to you, or two, you can contact the seller and let them know what happened. 9 times out of 10, sellers are going to work with you a lot easier. You hear back from them because the only way that they make any money, especially on eBay, is with happy customers. Repeat transactions. If customers aren't happy, they're going to leave negative reviews. Those negative reviews are going to steal other potential customers away from that seller. And also, if they get enough negative reviews in certain categories, for example, with eBay, they will charge you more in order to list your items on that site because you have a history of either sending out improper products, customers aren't receiving what they ordered, stuff wasn't exactly packaged properly and was damaged in transit, like this case here. And so a buyer really wants to get in contact with the seller to remedy a situation first, because normally that's going to be the easiest way to resolve the issue. Now, with eBay, you have a couple of remedies that you can do to contact the seller. You can message them directly through the closed listing that's listed in your purchased section of your eBay account, and then send them a message saying, hey, this is what happened, the item arrived damaged, or hey, this isn't the right item that was on the listing, whatever, what have you. Normally, they're going to contact you back. Now, there have been occasions I didn't receive an item. It was more than 7 days or so. The item never showed up. Contacted the seller. Seller never responded to the message, and I had to open a claim. Well, you also have the ability to do that with this. You can try and open a claim, see if eBay would be willing to step in and try and help you resolve the issue if your seller is not communicating with you, if you're not hearing from that seller, and you're not able to remedy whatever issue you're having. So, the reason why it's extremely important to make sure, especially when you have consoles as heavy as this console is probably, I'm going to estimate, 3.5 pounds. It's pretty compressed because everything was crammed in there. This was a really decent design on space saving, especially for the day that the Gamecube was developed. But the more condensed that you have something, the heavier it is, the more likely that that something is going to move in your box in shipment. So, sorry for shaking the camera there, guys. But that's the reason why it's important to make sure that you pack all the way around the objects that you are shipping. Not just on the outside. You also want to try and protect each individual item to make sure that another item isn't going to damage another item inside the same box. Because law of inertia, things in motion want to stay in motion. Things that are moving inside of a box wants to keep moving until it hits something, and when it hits something, it's going to break something. Like, for example, if this wasn't packaged in a way to prevent this console from impacting that console or what have you, and it was thrown hard enough, one of these consoles can get damaged. It's a fact of life. But you as a buyer, you have certain remedies that you can do in order to make sure that if this does happen, you can get at least a partial refund. Probably not going to get a full refund, especially if you have a lot this size, but partial refund's better than nothing. So, if you are a seller on eBay, please make sure that you package your stuff that you're shipping out in a way that it's not going to be damaged in transit. If you're a buyer, make sure that you check your packages as soon as they arrive for damage. Check the outside of the box, make sure it doesn't have any dents, holes, water damage, or anything like that. That way you're a little prepared when you open a box and you know, hey, something in here might not be in the condition that I expected it to be in. Also, make sure that you save the listing. Make sure that if this does happen, you open your box immediately as soon as it arrives. You go to the listing on whatever website that you use to purchase the item. Save the pictures of the items that were included in the listing. That is extremely important because that helps build your case. So there are some not so honest people out there who will claim, hey, you shipped me an item, it broke in shipment, and this is the item where it broke, yada, yada, yada. But that item really isn't the item that the seller shipped out to them. They're trying to do either one, return scam, or two, they're trying to get a discount and they're being a little weasel about it. Also, when you open your box, take pictures of how everything was packaged, just in case that there is something damaged in there. That way you can show on, your message to the buyer, or excuse me, the seller, that, hey, this is the exact package you sent. This is how it was packaged. This damage occurred. The packaging didn't prevent the damage from occurring. And also, when you're messaging the seller to try and let them know that your items were damaged, include the pictures. Tell the seller, hey, I saved the pictures from that listing where these items came from. It shows that there wasn't this damage here in the listing when I bid it on when I paid for the item, whatever, what have you. And then that way it helps support your case. And that way, if it does come to the point that eBay has to step in and say, hey, we want to help you resolve this issue, do you have anything that can show us that this is exactly what happened? Those pictures are really going to be a lifesaver for you. So, that is all I have for you today, guys. Like I said, if you are a seller, please, 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 for your customer sanity, package your items properly and make sure that they're well protected. Buyers, inspect your packages, inspect how it was packaged, and inspect your items thoroughly to make sure that you didn't get gypped. One, they didn't send whatever that you paid for, and two, make sure that the items aren't damaged. All right, everyone, so thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this video, go ahead and drop a like. If you'd like to share your stories of your eBay mishaps, please feel free to comment down on the bottom and maybe we can get a discussion going. And also, please check out my other videos on rehab gaming. We're going to have videos where we tear into systems like these, give them a good cleaning, see if they have any components that need to be replaced, do some troubleshooting, and do some restoration and stuff like that. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a wonderful day.